Among the seniors who will play their final game for the Cougars is wide receiver Michael Reed, who's tallied over 1,500 career receiving yards. Sammy Linebaugh joins us now from the BYU campus cam. And Sammy, we hear Reed has already taken an interesting role in building the future of the program.
Well, as many seniors are, Mike Reed is looking at the guys who will carry on the Cougar football tradition. He's been a mentor, he's been a leader in this program, and he's very open about the fact he'd like to see more black athletes consider his college town of Provo, Utah.
BYU's Mike Reed has made a career of making the tough plays across the middle. Third down, do or die. But it's off the field the senior wide receiver is having an impact with teammates, like freshman ONeill Chambers.
You know, I'll be going in a month. Start for my training.
And just think of it, I got 4 years, man. 4 years.
That's all right, though. You got 4 good years.
I know it's not easy. It's not easy being away from your family, especially in an environment where you're not LDS or you're not the same ethnicity as somebody else.
I can go to him. I know I can go to him because he's been here for 4 years, and that's what I'm going to end up doing.
Reed asked to room with Chambers this season in part, he says, because he sees in the freshman so much of himself.
Some of the questions he asks is the same questions I used to ask when I first got here.
For example, both wondered at the lack of caffeine on campus.
I actually had a cappuccino at a store, and I got all paranoid because I was like, am I going to fail the drug test that I drank that coffee? You know, that cappuccino? And they were like, no, they just don't want you drinking it. I was like, all right. And it's funny because ONeill asked that same question when he got out here. He's like, man, I sure do want a Coke. He's like, man, but I'm going to fail the drug test if I drink that Coke. I was like, ONeill, that's something similar to what I said when I first got here. I was like, they just don't want you drinking caffeine. You can drink it, but I was like, you shouldn't even be drinking Coke. I was like, you know, it's bad for you. Drink some water.
He came to me and basically asked if he could help ONeill, and that is really the best compliment I could pay any of our players, that he'd be willing to do that, and I appreciate it.
He cared more about us making it out here and being successful getting our education than anything else. Yeah. Football second, you know what I mean?
Reed graduates this winter with a degree in sociology and communications, but he's already hard at work on the recruiting front, hoping guys like Chambers will pick up the big brother role where he leaves off.
I mean, we talk about being a band of brothers a lot of times, and honestly, when you're here, that's what you feel like. You feel like each one of the people that you play next to is your brothers, part of the family. So you always feel included, you never feel left out. And I think that's just the biggest thing for anybody, even those that aren't members of the church, just being able to come here and feel a part of something, especially something this great.
It's different. That's another thing you got to understand. It's different, and you're going to go through some things. You're going to hear things from people. People that don't know, maybe some ignorant people, but for the most part, you have a lot of support here.
What's the best advice you've gotten from Mike?
Just let it come to you. Just keep working hard. Don't pay attention to nothing. Just keep running hard, keep doing things hard, and don't quit and don't do the opposite. Just live it up and just have fun.
That's the QB.
What's up, young man?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Mike Reed's right-hand man. I take care of him when I can. You know, I'm not big time enough to be on day in the life.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Heisman Trophy winner right there.
My grandmother always stressed to me, no matter where you are, just be you. You know, you don't have to do anything to try to please anybody else. Just represent yourself in a good way. You know, don't do anything to damage your name. And, you know, that's the things that I've taken into my life, and I will continue to after I leave here.
Mike Reed has certainly represented himself and this BYU program in a way that would make his grandmother very proud. Now, we shot this story before the Utah game, but let me tell you what I watched on the field after the game. It was after the celebrations. Many of the fans were leaving, and I looked over at the Utah locker room outside in that sea of red there, and there was one person standing there in blue. And sure enough, it was Mike Reed waiting to congratulate his cousin, Brian Johnson, on the win. Certainly a class act, and for me, one of the great moments of this unforgettable season. So, Maurice, we certainly wish Mike Reed and all the Cougar seniors well.
Sammy, excellent story. Thanks so much for the insight.
Thank you.
Time for a break. Then we'll look at the BYU running game led by Harvey Unga. This is the Las Vegas Bowl preview show, only on the Mountain.